Whoa, that's not supposed to work like that. Hold on one second here. There we go. That's much better. We can't have ourselves on top of ourselves like that to start the show. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Feuerstein's Fire American Soccer Show. I'm your host, Daniel Feuerstein, along with my co-host, Michael Martinez from Cascadia FC, as we will review both games of the round of 16, day 3 of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. But of course, we are going to go straight to the USA-Belgium game, where that's already been talked about, the nauseum of the red card situation, suspension situation of Florian Balogun. But we're going to get down to brass taxes of this game, Michael. The U.S. men's national team looked horrible. Without a doubt.
Toothless.
Exactly. Very, very toothless. Very nervy. Just didn't know what to do with themselves with the ball, and allowed Belgium to take advantage of the space. And that entire first half was just plainly disgusting. Look, for some of these players, maybe it's their first time in the round of 16. For the other half of these players, this is their second time since the last time they were in the World Cup in this stage, when they took on the Dutch. Now they take on Belgium, and it was just disgusting.
I mean, yeah, every single player mentally was not there. Like obviously the weight of the game and the weight of the controversy weighed heavily on every single one of those players. You could see it on their faces from the moment kickoff. And I mean, I said this on Twitter yesterday that the football gods will the U.S. will feel their wrath, and they did, and that they did. And I mean, you can't upturn a card like that and not expect consequences.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and Balogun wasn't even out doing much anyway in this game, so no. I mean, he might as well not have been out there in the first place.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I mean, honestly, there's only two players that even surprised me or impressed me today, and that was Malik Tillman and Christian Pulisic. Everyone else, I don't know what they were doing out there.
There it is. I mean, obviously, people are going to say to us, this is not the Belgian side of what they look like in the last World Cup cycle, which, you know, we understand that even though it's the golden generation of what they were, still good enough to do that to you. But if you allow them to do that to you, that's a different story. And that's what the U.S. men's national team did. They allowed Belgium to take advantage of the spaces that our back line gave to the Belgians to take advantage of. And it was just that the first 45 was just utterly disgusting. And even though Malik Tillman, with an amazing free kick goal to at least make it 1-1 with a little help of a deflection from the Belgian wall, still, though, they did not recover in time to prevent that second goal, which, once again, that should never have happened 61 seconds after you score the equalizer.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, even with the leading up to the goal, the U.S. wasn't doing anything. They weren't really pressing the Belgian defense. They weren't dangerous in the final third at all. Like, I know everyone was like losing their collective minds and cheering when Malik Tillman got the equalizer, but I was like, are we impressed with mediocrity? Like, the free kick was amazing, but like everything leading up to it, and even after that, was just so incredibly disappointing. And I'm like, I know, like, this is how I kind of do my Sounders coverage too, where like I take the goggles off and I try to look at it through like just the football lens, and I was like, this kind of sucks. Like, just watching it, and yeah. I was expecting more. I think everybody was expecting more, especially considering the performances the U.S. put in leading up to this. And I honestly think that they were all distracted.
Yeah, I think so, and I agree with you. And then obviously, Pochettino saw this. He made a great substitution before the half started. He brought in Gio Reyna for Serginho Dest because you saw that Dest didn't have anything either. And then that means that you're probably forcing McKennie to switch out and go into Dest's position on the back line, which means you're moving Reyna up front because you want him to help provide a goal or two if possible, or set up a goal or two or possible. And then the ultimate, what the hell just happened, came out of nowhere on the third Belgian goal. Matt Freese, I never thought I would ever see Matt Freese just not do or do what he just did. Like, he was so he was indecisive once he got the ball. Like, I don't know what he thought. He thought he heard footsteps. Did he feel contact? He felt the guy from behind or something. I mean, you gotta boot that ball down the field. Okay,
especially with the amount of pressure that Belgium was giving. Like, why would you? Also, what is his captain Tim Ream doing in that situation?
Exactly.
Why are you allowing your keeper to come out of the box so far out of the box? And why aren't you saying, "Hey, man on," or "Hey, drop it back"?
Yeah,
literally anything. And yet you have Chris Richards and Tim Ream just right there, standing there, watching Matt Freese come out of the box and try and dribble his way out. Like,
no,
what?
No, that is very uncharacteristic. Like, for Matt Freese. Period. I mean, for me, that's a Matt Turner play. That's a Matt Turner play because he will cough up the strangest goals you'll ever see, even the ones from college where that highlight never gets old. He's just looking at his goal. The ball is coming down. He's ready to grab it. Next thing you know, it goes right through his hands. It goes right into the net. So, I mean,
Andrew Thomas from the Sounders wouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, no, listen. No one would have done that. No one.
No keeper in the right mind would have done that.
Exactly.
Chris Brady wouldn't have done that. Gaga Sonino wouldn't have done that. Like,
no.
It's just, I just want to know, like, what the thought process was doing that. Like, I understand, like, trying to recycle possession and get the ball out, but, like, why the extra touch? You know, like, you have pressure on. There's absolutely zero reason for it.
And let's not also forget, Christian Pulisic injured himself before that happened.
Yeah, he did.
Because he lost the ball. First of all, he lost the ball to Tielemans. He tried to kick the ball, but he missed. He got Tielemans in the heel, kind of, or he basically either kicked Tielemans while he was trying to shoot the ball, or he just dug his foot into the ground, and he hurt himself. And he's limping around. I know you can't make subs, but, Christian, go down.
Yeah, just go down. Force a sub.
Go down. Force a sub. And if that happens, Matt Freese does not leave his line at all. At all. And that is also on Christian Pulisic from ESPN FC. Remember when Tim Whale lost, 11 balls against Turkey?
Mm-hmm.
Christian Pulisic lost 11 balls.
In the first half, yeah.
In the first half, yep. Against Belgium. It's insane. I
mean, you see the way Belgium set up defensively, they knew exactly how to frustrate and stop every sort of USA's attack. And it was honestly really impressive considering how they were leaking goals left and right leading up to this game.
Yep.
And again, I have to credit this Belgian side because they got their tactics right.
Exactly.
Even with the wrinkle of Balogun being in there, they still stuck with their plan, and the US had no answer for it.
Exactly. And that's where the level of tactics and the level of the players, regardless of where this team is right now, regardless of where Belgium is, on, the rankings wise of FIFA, regardless of that, they're still a damn good team. If they face Spain, they'll probably get punished.
Yeah.
But, against a New Zealand, which is definitely like, 10 to 20 levels lower than the US. And I'm being truthful about it. I mean, I don't care if you're from New Zealand. Your national team is the only one that's good enough in Oceania. Australia's not there anymore. They moved to Asia. So, don't come at me, okay? You know where you should know what level you're at, New Zealand. It's okay. It's all right. We're being truthful here. But for the US, where our players are, I would say, in the middle to maybe a notch or two above that. Just a notch or two.
Mhm.
Okay? Even the worst Belgian side can beat our guys on a day like this in the World Cup, especially in the World Cup.
I mean, yeah, on paper, I mean, the Belgian was better in every aspect. I mean, this US, I mean, maybe like one or two players from this US side would get into this current Belgian team,
Mm-hmm.
and that's even with starting with Jeremy Doku and Kevin De Bruyne on the bench,
Mm-hmm.
which
Exactly.
again, wild that Kevin De Bruyne didn't even get to play today, which I thought
No.
that was interesting. He was also kind of alone during warm
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, so I don't think him and the coach are
No.
getting along.
No.
The girls are fighting right now, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's just the U.S. is they're so far from what the fight they showed leading up to
Mm-hmm.
this. Like
Exactly.
nobody showed any fight. Like I mean, even that last goal, the Romelu Lukaku, like what is Chris Richards doing with that
Yep.
ball? Again, it's
Yep.
another no, just a mind fart. Or just not doing anything with it and just
Yep.
playing with it in the back.
Yep.
I mean,
Exactly.
and I know people are. I see people already like dumping on Tim Ream, which fair, but also Charles Ketelara, he is a big boy. He's like what six
He
foot
is.
three, and
I thought he was at least 6'4", I thought, but yeah.
he's a big guy. And the crazy thing is, he's more of a 10 than he is a 9.
Yes.
He's like a weird like playmaking 9. He's kind of an awkward player. He's really
Mm-hmm.
fun to watch, but
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
he's had a rough tournament, and today he really turned it on.
Yep.
And yes, you can say like the U.S. just didn't play well, kind of allowed him to play that way. But
Yeah.
if you watch back on his runs and his movement, especially between the two defenders,
Mm-hmm.
and especially between Tim Ream and Anthony Robinson, it was just really impressive, and he
It
deserved his
was.
brace.
Oh, absolutely. No, 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 no. He deserved his brace. Like I said, he exploited the space that he was given.
Yeah.
And he went in between our defenders. And then the second one, he just out jumped Tim Ream. He just
Mm-hmm.
out jumped him.
He made
Tim
Tim Ream
Ream
look small.
did. He really, really did. And, now I can say it. I can really now say it. I think now for Tim Ream, I love you, Tim. You've been a great soldier for the national team. I think it's just time for you to move on. I really do. It's time for Timmy to move on. Just finish your career in MLS, finish it with Charlotte FC, and whenever you're ready to call it a career, all of the above. I think this is it. I think now it's time to find a new position or find a new center back to take over for Tim Ream. It really is. Because as great as he was in the first 4 games of this World Cup, from the group stage to the last game against Bosnia, now it's just he'll never be that type of center back again on the international stage, because this is where the big boys really come to play.
And it's time for someone else to step up and be the captain. Like I know Tyler
Exactly.
Adams has been captain before, but I just don't see anybody on this team being an actual leader in that
Oh.
sense, including Tyler Adams.
Mm-hmm.
But with the center backs, I mean, Nokai Banks, he was not called up into this tournament because he was kind of tipped or was it that tiptoeing between
Wishy-washy.
Germany and yeah, wishy-washy between the U.S. and Germany.
Yep.
But I think he's committing to the U.S. for the next cycle, and I think it's going
Good.
to be Chris Richards and Nokai Banks as the center back pairing
Good.
moving forward
Good.
for the next 8 to 12 years, which is
Good.
great. But I mean,
It is.
again, we're still talking about today. It's
We
disappointing
are.
performances from every single player on the pitch.
Mhm.
Nobody, bar Malik Tillman, did anything worth a damn.
No, nobody, absolutely. I just want to say this from Felipe Cardenas from The Athletic. He puts out on Twitter: every one of the U.S. men's national team's weaknesses were exploited tonight by Belgium. Backline goalkeeper, World Cup mentality, depth, leadership. Absolutely spot on. You can't really argue it, because the reality is this. The reality is that this team, outside of Pochettino, which I hope he remains as head coach of the men's national team. I really do hope he stays for a full 4-year cycle, because we need more of this from him. Because what he did to get these players ready to go and to put his foot down against them, probably behind closed doors, to finally get them to play the way he wants them to play. But there's got to be a shakeup within the player pool when we get ready for 2030. And that's got to start this coming September, October, November, when we get ready for the Nations League. Because the way some of these things happened should never have happened in this game. It should never have happened in this game.
No.
It's great to take advantage of Paraguay in the first group stage match. It's great to, take advantage of Australia when they shot themselves in the foot. Okay. I don't care about the game against the Turks because you want to give your starters the rest. Okay. That's fine. It was basically a friendly. Turkey was going home anyway. That's fine. I would love to have seen them sweep it, but it's okay. Whatever. You beat Bosnia like you were supposed to beat Bosnia. But this was the big boy league. This was the first game of the big boy league. And if you would have beaten Belgium, or at least forced extra time with them, and maybe advance, you would have faced Spain. And that's the second league, the second team in the big boy league that you got to face.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, it ended in the round of 16 like the last time in Qatar. And
if it wasn't going to be Belgium, it was going to be Spain.
Exactly. No, but it's fine. It's fine. Look, if I knew they're going to get killed against Spain, I knew they're going to get killed. Here, I hoped that they would be better.
Mm-hmm.
To be the improved team that you showed yourselves to be. But no, you weren't. That's the problem. The mentality was not there. And if you don't have the mentality to face a team like Belgium, you're not going to have the opportunity to say to yourself, we were the better team and we're going to beat them and we're going to show you how. No, they didn't do that. They did not do that. And that's what's more disappointing about this game.
Mm-hmm. And they regress to what every U.S. fan has seen for years. Like we've seen this mentality break from the U.S. men's national team for years on end now, and we finally thought we saw a shift in that, but again, they proved everybody that they're still the same U.S. team. And I mean,
Exactly.
there's still plenty of young players, especially this next cycle is going to be really interesting with the amount of players that are coming through. Just in MLS alone, like with your New York Red Bulls, you have Julian Hall, you have Mehmeti, and then you have Javier Gozo, you have Diego Luna, you have Snyder Brunel at the Sounders, you have Andrew Thomas as a keeper, who's honestly better than all three keepers on U.S. roster right now, stat wise at least.
Yeah.
And Nokai Banks, like the youth coming through is insane, and it's going to be really interesting to see like if it's Poch or whoever else shakes this team up.
Exactly. And, I just want to say this. I am not trying to, throw shade at Christian Pulisic, but, if I get yelled for what I'm about to say, that's fine. I don't care because I'm really starting to have enough of him, to be honest with you. I just don't like his mentality. I just don't like occasionally his arrogance. I just don't like what I see from him sometimes. And in this particular game, forget about the injury situation because I know that's going to happen. Injuries happen. I'm not concerned about that. But I just believe that his mentality needs a reprogramming because, he should have been there for the Gold Cup in the summer of 2025. Should have been there at the Gold Cup for the summer of 2025. Should have. Show yourself to be. I'm not asking you to wear the captain's armband, Christian. I'm asking you to give a damn. And even though he did show some flashes of it, which was great, but I need to see it from you all the time. If you are, God.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, literally from the start, then when Poch came in, like, he's been completely complacent. One, in his play, like at the national level, in his play and in his attitude. Like, you see him having more passion, more pride playing for Milan than he does for the US right now, which is wild. But I like me, I'm more of a club over country type guy, always have been.
Hmm.
But to see someone like Christian Pulisic, who feels like he bleeds red, white, and blue, to kind of have that mentality shift is just wild and kind of interesting. Like I want to know
Hmm.
like what happened with that.
Exactly, and that's why the Galazzo channel on Paramount Plus, Paramount Plus on your app or on the website, you have his Pulisic documentary series of his time in Milan, and then of course it's that one episode where he's complaining about, oh, I need a break. Why are people going all over me? I need a break. Look what I've done in Milan. And his father has to come on that damn thing and defend his own son for no reason. And then here is these great players like Christian Pulisic. I mean, I'm sorry, not Christian Pulisic. Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, Luka Modric, and even Romelu Lukaku for Belgium, who is what, 40, almost 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Even Neymar. They're still fighting for their national team, even though probably Neymar's done for Brazil. We all know Modric is done for Croatia. Ronaldo is now done for Portugal. Lukaku, I don't know if he's done yet for Belgium. We'll find out whenever they do get eliminated, or if they do win the World Cup out of the blue. I don't know. But you're seeing, and Messi is still going for Argentina, and I think this is his last World Cup for Argentina whenever they bow out.
Yeah.
I mean, these men didn't have to play for their national team anymore. They could have just retired. But no, they kept going. Pulisic is like what, in his mid to late 20s?
Yeah,
And
he wants to. He's complaining about playing too much. Like, come on, brother. Like you want to be the best player in U.S. history, and yet you don't even get close to where Landon Donovan or Clint Dempsey are
yeah,
in terms of
exactly.
mentality. Like,
Exactly. And it's not just those guys. I can go further. It's Brian
mm-hmm.
McBride. It's Eddie Pope. It's John O'Brien. It's, Clint Mathis, Josh Wolf,
Claudio
you
Reyna.
know, Claudio Reyna. I can go, Eddie Lewis. I can go on. Kobe Jones, Tony Miola, Brad Friedel. I know they're goalkeepers, but still though, they were still going strong until they decided, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I'm at the age where I feel I can't do it anymore. You're talking about players that were part of the 1990 World Cup team that just finally got them qualified after what happened in Port of Spain and Trinidad and Tobago. And then they carried the torch. Even Eric Ronaldo went 2, 3 World Cups before he decided to call it quits.
Mm-hmm.
Because they gave a damn. They gave a damn. And when the whole situation happened, not qualifying for Russia in 2018, these guys were handed their spots. They didn't fight for it because U.S. soccer wanted to go in a different direction. And as great as it is to go in a different direction, to see the younger talents coming into play, once again, if you don't have the mentality to basically supposedly man up, then what the hell are you doing out there?
Mm-hmm. Then that applies for every single player on the pitch.
Yeah.
And Jeremy at Works at Cascade with me sums up the U.S. men's national team perfectly. He said, arrogant, maybe. Entitled, possibly. Spoiled, potentially. Complacent, absolutely. And I feel like every one of those statements perfectly describes this U.S. team, especially going into this match against Belgium.
Exactly.
And they were humbled. And you can see by the reaction to the players that they were not ready for it. They didn't know what to think of this game at all. It's insane.
Exactly. See, here's the thing. When you face teams that have lesser quality than you, they take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you face a team like Belgium or face a team like Spain or even Portugal, this England side, if they ever faced this England side, they would have lost for the first time in the World Cup. That's how good I think this England side is becoming right now.
Yeah.
That's how terrible our guys are. Because regardless of who's ranked, top 10 in FIFA, if you're not going to put your head and your heart into it, you're going to get Smacked.
100%.
Yeah.
And then
Um,
one of the guys in the comments, I like what he said. The horrible takes from the so-called USA fans who just hopped to this week on the bandwagon is nauseating.
mhm.
I agree. Like some of these like wild, like even like those like some of the people who work for ESPN or like Barstool, like some of the stuff, the idiotic stuff that they're saying.
Barstool, I
Like
can't stand. I'm
I
sorry.
can't stand Barstool, yeah.
No,
But
okay.
again, that's like it's like yes, we are shitting on the US right now because they played horribly today, but also we have watched this team again and again and seen the progression for it to drop so low. Our critique is warranted. And all the stuff that all
Mhm.
these other accounts are saying is just absurd, and it's not going to do the growth of the game here any good.
First of all, let me just say this, and I try not to throw my credentials around, obviously, because I have been covering the national team and American soccer as a whole for over 15, 20 years right now. Before this podcast on Blog Talk Radio, did my own one-page newsletter, delivering it to several bars in New Jersey, especially in Hoboken, and a couple of places in New York City. I would do on, of course, then Metro Stars, now Red Bull New York, and of course the U.S. men's national team whenever they played. We have the right to critique our national team because we're doing it in a very creative, and we have every right to critique how they play fantastic, how they play good, or how they play bad, or absolutely god awful. Okay? Barstool can kiss my backside. They can kiss my ass. They are the worst people covering sports ever since they were founded. I don't care the pizza reviews. I don't care about him helping out the young, these businesses, these small businesses. He helps with them. I mean, that's great and everything. But when it comes to actual sports conversations, that is an absolute disgrace. Anytime you talk to those guys or you hear those guys, turn them off because they don't have real constructive criticism. This is what we do. We have done this from the start all the way till now. And the day that we are no longer doing this, then we'll end it and they can go to somebody else. But here to tell you, all of you right now, we, Michael, myself, Jeremy, all the other writers that cover MLS clubs, USL clubs, and the national team, either in New England, Chicago, Detroit, San Antonio, San Diego, Seattle, Portland, Orlando, Miami, Atlanta, Jacksonville. I don't care if it's in a little tiny town like Asheville in North Carolina. Whoever has been covering the U.S. men's national team with honest critiques, you listen to us. You don't listen to Barstool at all. They're nothing. I don't care if I get flack for it. This is a professional show, not what they do over there.
No, they just bring toxicity, and it's not good for any sport. The so-called coverage that they provide.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly. It is insane.
Well, let me ask you this now. So let's get back
Yes.
to the conversation. What is next with the U.S. then?
Nations League. A couple of friendlies in September and October before they go to the Nations League quarterfinals in November. And hopefully, whoever they face after the group stage, that they'll win the two-leg games, and that they will head over to SoFi Stadium for March of 2027 and get ready for semifinals and hopefully the final again to win their fourth Nations League championship. We'll see what happens. But right now, this is just another ending in the round of 16, which should not have happened, but it did. And it's just another failure to not at least go to the quarterfinals. Is there positives? I think there are some positives, but the reality is that the negatives, once again, is when you face a big boy team, in Belgium, regardless of where they are at their level, and you cannot do the job the way you should have, it's not good. It's not good at all. And,
They're not ready for it.
no, exactly. And you know what? Tim Howard was right. I know there are people scoffing at him. Tim Howard of NBC Sports Soccer, Premier League coverage on NBC, was absolutely right with Landon Donovan on their Unfiltered Soccer podcast. We'll never win a World Cup because it's not just you got to face Belgium. If you beat Belgium, you got to face Spain. And if you can't, and if you do beat Spain, then you're going to have to face the French. And if you're going to face a buzzsaw like the French, and if you think you can't beat them, good luck.
I don't think anybody can beat them, to be honest. Not right now, but France is a different beast.
Exactly.
But I do want to credit the city of Seattle.
Oh no, they were fantastic.
Like, obviously, I have a biased Sounders fan, Sounders
but no,
reporter.
but you're right though. But you're right though.
The city turned out, like, seeing the walks to the stadium, seeing the water pictures and videos of the waterfront, and just seeing the stadium packed and everybody singing, and how hyped the crowd was getting. I was like, Seattle is a soccer city, and honestly, Seattle should be the home of the U.S. men's national team. I'm not saying that with the Seattle bias. I'm saying legitimately just based on the performances that we've seen there, and the fan turnout has been insane. Like, I would not expect that.
No, same here. Honestly, I was happy to see a filled Lumen Field. I was happy to see it for the second time since the Australia game in the group stage. I've never had any doubts about Seattle, to be honest with you. I know what goes on over there. I mean, I know you live over there in the Pacific Northwest, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist like myself to say that is a hotbed for the game, just like it is in St. Louis, just like it is in New Jersey, just like it is in New York City, anywhere else in the country. Seattle, Portland, awesome job. They do an amazing job there supporting the local talent, the MLS clubs, and the U.S. men's national team. So if there is any hope for a third World Cup coming to our country, Seattle should be selected once again as a destination for these games, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Honestly, and give it to Portland or Eugene too, because I mean,
yes,
I know Eugene Autzen Stadium can easily host World Cup games.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. No, I give everyone up and down the states. Obviously, I give credit to Washington State, Oregon State. Oregon, Washington State. I give them all the credit in the world. They know how to fill it up for the national team. I want to go now towards our U.S. soccer. The governing body of the sport. I want to say this to you right now, okay? Whoever allowed Greg Berhalter to come back for this national team and nearly destroy it, okay? That was the worst moves you can make. The minute you brought in Mauricio Pochettino, you corrected yourself. You fixed yourselves. And that was the right thing to do. And I am here to say this on the record, regardless of what anyone thinks. Okay? Number one, any losses during this short run with Pochettino, I was never going to blame him because it was never his fault. Never his fault. This was all on U.S. soccer as a whole. Now it's time for them to really, and I know there's been reports they are talking to him about having him remain as the head coach of the national team for the next cycle. And I hope that's the case. I really do, because I think he can, with a full 4-year cycle, and the way he's going, and I want him to tell these players after the World Cup is over, when I call you in, you show up. You have a wedding that you can't make it for. If you're getting married and you can't make it, I understand. If you are injured, I understand. If you're sick, I understand. If you are having a child on the way, your wife is delivering your first baby, your second baby, your third baby, whatever it is, and you can't make it, I understand. But if you're going to be an entitled, spoiled brat and say, I need a little vacation, I was in Europe for over 8 months, I'm tired, then get off. Get out. And I don't care if it is Pulisic. I don't care if it's Weston McKennie. I do not care if it's Malik Tillman, which I know it's not going to be him, but I'm just saying his name just to add on to the whole thing. I don't care if you are the hottest shit in American soccer. I do not care. I do not care. Okay? You get the call, you come up. Something comes up, family, marriage, injured, sick, I understand. Anything else, and if you don't want to take the call up because you're a lazy jerk, get out. I don't care. I do not care. CONCACAF Gold Cup is our tournament in this confederation. That is our Euro Cup. I don't care what anyone says. You want to come in for the Nations League because it's a quick two-game situation? Fine. You're going to try and win the Nations League title? Fine. Come on in. It's okay. But if you're going to tell me that you don't want to be in the Gold Cup because you need a break from playing in Europe, you are done. You are off. No ifs, ands, or buts. You're done. Goodbye.
The
Period.
U.S. will never be a serious soccer or footballing nation until players have that mentality.
Exactly. That's the problem.
I mean, we've seen that with like the players of old. Like, yeah, they weren't the best skilled in the world, but like they still had the pride in the shirt, and we just don't see that as much anymore. And I think it's time. I honestly, I think the youth that's coming up now, I think they're going to provide that. They are proud to represent the U.S. youth teams. So I mean, I think we'll definitely see a massive mentality shift coming soon.
I agree. And you know who's going to remain on this team from this World Cup team to go into 2030? Ricardo Pepe, because you saw what happened when Berhalter told him, or you heard what happened when Berhalter told Pepe, well, I'm not going to bring you to Qatar for the World Cup. He slammed the phone on him. That shows me that that man wanted to be on that World Cup team. He wanted to prove to not only Greg, but to tell his country he's ready to go. And that's the type of player I want. Like you said, Luna, Gozo, Julian Hall, Audrey Mehmeti, all these other players that are ready to go. I'm telling you right now, they want to be on this national team. They're ready to challenge those guys who were on this roster right now. They're ready. They're hungry. I hope, honestly, coming soon, because we have an under 20 World Cup coming next year. This coming July now, at the end of this month, once the World Cup is over, the CONCACAF Under 20 Championships are going to begin. That means Under 20 World Cup spot is on the line. That also means the U.S. will automatically qualify for the Olympics in 2028. Okay? It's not just, hopefully the Copa America returns to the U.S. and has it here. We don't know if it'll happen or not. We'll see what happens. But if we do get invited to the Copa America, and if it is played here, or if it's played back in South America somewhere, and if we get the invitation, just go to it and have our guys be involved in it. That's fine. I would be happy with it. But once again, you get called in for the Gold Cup, either 2027 or 2029, get your asses in it.
Let's see. I mean, I'm sure they'll easily get in, but it's just every player has to be ready. And again, they weren't ready again today. And I mean, I also want to critique Pochettino's subs today, just for a second. I just think bringing on Ricardo Pepi in the 72nd minute instead of Haji Wright, I don't think that was right. Haji Wright was done dirty this entire tournament. Him and Zendejas, I think they could have provided a lot of different dynamism in the attack than what they had out there.
I agree.
And yet they were left on the bench the entire tournament. And it's like, why would you not bring those guys? If you're not going to use them, don't bring them in and bring in another midfielder for you have an injured Christian Roldan and a tired Tyler Adams. Like, bring in an Aiden Morris, bring in a Tanner Tessman. Like, something. I don't know.
No, exactly.
I mean, the Reina sub was genius. I thought the halftime sub was perfect with that, and I thought also brought in a lot more dynamism, a lot more passion when he came on as well. I just think the subs, like again, we talked about this the last game. They were too late.
Yeah,
the subs were way too late.
Absolutely. And the other thing is this though, and the thing is like, okay, fine. The subs were brought in, when the fourth official refused to let them come on the field and basically allowed the stoppage time to basically get wasted. And when they finally were in, it was too late already because Lukaku it was already too late. The game was already over. You're down by 2. I know Lukaku scored to make it 4-1, but the truth is that the game was already over when Matt Freese screwed it all up.
I mean, everyone just lost their heads by that point.
Yep, exactly. That's the whole thing. You don't want to lose. You hate losing. You hate to lose, not just for your club team, but for your national team. Period. Period. And that's all it is. That's where I am. This is where things need to improve, not just, player pool wise, but US soccer wise. They have to change whatever's going on behind the scenes. It's not working. It is not working. And
No,
I
nothing's
mean, look,
working.
it's great to dominate CONCACAF, because it's too easy to dominate CONCACAF. Even though Panama has improved, it looks like Mexico is now back to where they are. Canada has improved. You're seeing these other nations in Central America. Honduras is looking to improve. Guatemala has now improved after their long ban that's now gone. They've improved themselves. You don't worry about Jamaica too much. You don't worry about Trinidad too much. But or any of the other Caribbean nations. But you know what? If you ever face Curacao and they come at you and they bite you in the butt, that's not our fault. That's your
Hmm.
fault, U.S.
Yeah.
Soccer. That's your fault. You need
I
a
mean,
head coach. Yeah.
they fostered this. They fostered this lack of mentality and this,
Mhm.
honestly, just this lack of heart. And they've allowed this all to happen. I mean, it's been fostering for years now, and it finally blew up in their faces in this Belgium game.
Exactly. It really did. And, once again, when you're supposed to be the governing body of the sport in this country, U.S. soccer, when you are supposed to be the governing body of the sport, and you allow the first division league to walk all over you, there's a problem because you're supposed to be at the top. They come to you for advice. You don't go to them for advice. I understand MLS is the top league, but still, though, you can't allow them to dictate anything and everything that goes on inside Soccer House, whether it's in Chicago or now outside of Atlanta. I'm sorry. You have to
Mhm.
be better. You must be better.
And until that happens, and we're going to continue to see this happen every single
Exactly.
tournament.
Exactly. And then how many times are we going to see the Seattle Sounders not go to the Open Cup? You know? Or, the Timbers. Or even, all these other teams that are, oh, we made the playoffs. That means we're not going to the Open Cup. We go to Leagues Cup.
Go to
How
the
do you
Mickey
allow
Mouse Club.
Leagues? Exactly. A chocolate trophy wrapped in foil. That's all it is in reality.
Hmm.
It's just disgusting. It's just terrible. And once again, if we are not going to be a big boy league like MLS should be, if we're not going to be a big boy uh, soccer federation like England is, like Spain is, like the French Football Federation is, like the German Football Federation that now, who they bring over? They brought in Klopp. Klopp took the job. And now watch Germany go back to where they should be. Okay? Watch him take Germany where they should be.
I mean, they have the same problems the U.S. have. It's all about the mentality. Germany hasn't had that cutthroat winners mentality for years. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we'll have to see it. I mean, Klopp brought that back to Liverpool after years of mediocrity. So hopefully he can do that again with
Exactly.
Germany.
Exactly. That's what he's going to do. And
Oh,
and this is what Pochettino's trying to do too. Bring in that mentality. And when he has players who act like spoiled, whiny brats, he's going to have to find a way to kick their ass. And the only way he's going to kick their ass is to tell them, you're not on the team, stay there. Just stay at your club team for the week and just take it easy and sleep on your own bed. We don't need you. That's the mentality he needs. And at the same time, US soccer, allow him to bring in whoever he wants. Do not tell him who he should bring.
I doubt they'll do that. I mean, Poch has that personality where he'll just kind of take over the team himself.
Mm-hmm.
What to see? Hmm.
That'd be nice. Red Bull Sounders MLS Championship game.
Power of the youth teams.
Mm-hmm. Now, don't you dare make us have a good time, damn it.
The Red Bulls are even good enough for it. All right, now let's move on to Belgium's
Okay.
next opponent.
Yes, of course. We have Portugal taking on Spain, and Spain with a single goal in second half stoppage time by Mikel Merino. That was all they needed to end the international career of Cristiano Ronaldo and put themselves in the semifinals.
This game was fantastic from start to finish. Like
Mm-hmm.
especially the first half, just the back and for both keepers, with the Unai Simon and who's Portugal's keeper right now? Oh, Diego Costa. Like
Mm-hmm.
both keepers were fantastic. Like, but the amount of times that both teams were just pinging each other back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Portugal chance, Spain chance, Spain chance, Portugal chance. Like, it was just every this felt like. I mean, these are two rivals. They're countries right next to each other. They
Mm-hmm.
generally do not like each other very much,
Nope.
and you could feel that on the pitch.
Yep.
And it was really satisfying watching Cristiano Ronaldo cry at the end of the game, knowing his international career is over,
Yep.
with not scoring a single goal from open play in any World Cup knockout game. Like
Yep.
it felt good. But I mean, Spain again, they showed exactly why they are one of the best teams in the world. Like, yeah, they only got the one goal and it was late from Mikel Merino, but
Mm-hmm.
their overall play and their control of the ball, especially through that midfield, like I know this entire time I've been praising Portugal's midfield
Yes.
with João Neves and Bruno Fernandes just being incredible players, but Roberto Martinez did not know what he was doing this
Yep.
entire tournament. To be
Yep.
honest, like
Yep.
honestly,
Yep.
Roberto Martinez and Cristiano Ronaldo were detriments to this Portugal national team,
Yes, they were.
and I feel like a different manager and honestly starting Gonçalo Ramos would
Mm-hmm.
have Portugal could have made it far with this team, but
Yes.
they handicapped themselves, and
Mm-hmm. They
it
did.
showed again in this game.
Yep. It really, really did. Once again, back to the goalkeepers. They really played fantastic. Get it inside the first minute of second half stoppage time. I just thought this was. I was actually looking to see if we're going to go extra 30 on this one, but thankfully it didn't. So that was a pretty good finish there from Spain to defeat Portugal.
I mean, yeah, and that's that. When I see Mon save on Ronaldo and João Felix, where he stops João Felix shot with one hand, and then he has to literally Superman dive to save Ronaldo's deflection. That was going in. Like that would have
Hmm.
changed the game completely. And I was just in it. I can't stop just watching him the way he just dives, stretches way out, and just able to secure it right in the middle of the box. Like I think this was a game for neutrals, and everyone should be looking
Yes.
back and watching it because I think we might have seen the world champion
Yep.
today.
I agree. I agree. It's going to be interesting depending on who's going to be playing in the semifinals. But definitely, this is going to be one. This was a damn good game, and look, I think Cristiano Ronaldo would say, at least he rides off into the sunset in a chess match like this.
The weird thing is, he didn't even say that in the post game presser. He was talking about how when they won the Euros, like what like 2 years ago, whatever it was, he said
Yes,
that feels better than winning the World Cup. And I was like,
I know,
okay, like
I know. You
shut the
know
hell
him.
up. Like
I
I know.
know. You know what he wants to do. He wants to end like on a good feeling before he rides off into the sunset. So of course he'll talk about that. I mean, look, outside of all the club championships he's won, Manchester United, Juventus, Real Madrid, the easy Saudi Pro League. Now that he's there, which he'll probably play till he's 50. I don't know,
At
but
this rate, yeah.
at this rate, I mean, it's too easy over there.
Hmm.
Look, he's always going to talk about the positives that he's done for the game. Okay, we already know what his negatives are, but still, though, I mean, look,
He's his biggest hype man.
yep, he is without a doubt. I mean, look, if you don't have that arrogance, sometimes you're not going to be that great. I mean, it's better to be humble than arrogant, but he still shows that he's a humble guy. But when he talks about his game, he has the arrogance, and he has every right to say it.
I still like him.
I
I've never
know.
liked Ronaldo. Like even like, especially starting with Manchester United days. I've been a City fan for most of my life, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I just can't do it.
that's fine. That's fine.
I
That's fine.
refuse to respect him as a
No,
player.
that's okay. That's okay.
I am
That's all
intrigued
right.
though because Roberto Martinez, I don't know if you saw this, he stepped down from the Portugal national team in the post match presser, and he's like what now the 10th manager to step down in this
Yes.
tournament. something like that.
Yes.
Like some
Uh-huh.
it's just an insane stat, and I think I'm intrigued to see who they bring in.
Yeah. Me too.
One, because I think whoever they bring in has to unlock this midfield. Like if they
Mhm.
can get John Neves and Vitinha playing like they do for PSG and adding in
Yes.
Bruno Fernandes, even though he's like
Mhm.
32, like adding in that and a player of that quality, like
Mhm.
this team could be arguably could be the best in the world with that midfield alone.
Mhm.
Because I honestly compare them to the Spain of old with Iniesta, Xavi, and Busquets. Like those three are comparable in my eyes,
Yeah.
and that's no recency bias. But I feel like if they get the
Right.
right coach to
Mhm.
unlock those three, and then especially with
Mhm.
the rest of the young players that are coming through and they're all
Yep.
current on the team, this Portugal
Yeah.
side can be really scary. It just depends if they can actually do it.
Yeah.
And yes, the midfield was abysmal today. I will say,
Yes, it was. Yep.
like it would
Absolutely. Yep.
like they were the most disappointing part of this Portugal game for me.
Mhm.
But I mean, again, the potential is there for them just to be the best in the world,
It is.
if not
Really.
right now already.
Mhm. Exactly. So, just to finish off on this note for CONCACAF, three of the six teams finish off in the group stage. For Canada, Mexico, and United States, they all finish in the round of 16. Canada, first time ever. Mexico, first time, I would say, since 2018. And for the U.S., once again, stuck in the round of 16 since Qatar 2022 and Brazil 2014 and South Africa 2010. So, hey, even though they got their first ever round of 32 victory, the U.S. and Canada and Mexico, just not getting past the round of 16 for Canada, that's a positive. For Mexico and the U.S., that's a negative. But hey, it all depends now on welcome back to the qualification for 2030 for when the World Cup does go to Portugal, Spain, and Morocco.
Features now. Time to
That's
start.
right.
Starts tomorrow.
Yep. Uh-huh. Exactly. We got one more round of 16 review show for all of you for tomorrow night, Tuesday, July the 7th. And guess what? On Wednesday, Michael, we get our break.
We have a break. We have a 1 day break.
We have a 1 day break, and then we go straight to the quarterfinals. One game on Thursday, one game Friday, and two on Saturday.
I love it.
Uh-huh. See, he's already exhausted. He's already exhausted from all this
Never
stuff, but
there.
hey,
All this
we
and
love it.
working like woof.
Yes, I know. I know. All right, everyone. Let's go ahead tomorrow's schedule at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Technical difficulties. I know, Jesus. Well, while Dan gets his internet fixed up, hopefully he comes in at some point. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 Eastern, we do have You're Not Lagging, Dan is Lagging.
Sees
Oh, there we go. You're back. Maybe. No. Okay. Argentina versus Egypt is first game tomorrow.
like
Um,
anything. You know,
are you back? No more lagging?
anything else you want? There we go. You have anything else you want to talk about? Anything that's on your mind? You want to talk
Um,
about anything
you
more?
you were lagging quite a bit, but
I know. I know.
with that entire bit. But I'm really intrigued, honestly, by Egypt and Argentina's game tomorrow.
Me
One,
too.
because Cabo Verde showed, honestly, anybody who faces Argentina moving forward, like how you can kind of stop them in the attack,
Hmm.
especially in the final third. Like if you can kind of sit in that mid to low block and kind of stop and making those counterattacks, which I think Egypt can do, especially with Ashur, Salah, and Marmoush. If
Hmm.
they can utilize those three, I think they can
Yep.
really do some damage against this Argentina side. And honestly, the Argentina backline is really not all that impressive. Romero and Lissandro Martinez, they both have a tendency to step into the midfield for no reason. And I can and with Idris' pace, especially on the wings, so they can easily get in behind and really cause some damage.
Absolutely. Real quick, we got this. Dan, get the iguanas off the electrical wires down there in Florida. Yeah, thanks a lot, Mike.
Hey, blame the iguanas, man. I don't know.
I tell you, these iguanas down here. You ever see these large iguanas like from that big? It's like
No, but
they're like
Arizona, they have
this.
Gila monsters. So.
I know, I've seen those. I mean, they're like from head to like body here, but then their tails like all the way up to there, so it's like that big.
Disgusting.
And
I've never seen wild iguanas, but I've definitely seen plenty of Gila monsters, and those things terrify the shit out of me. So,
yep, exactly, exactly. I tell you. All right, everyone. Well, first of all, we appreciate you joining us here as always for these World Cup match day review shows. Join Michael Martinez and myself once again tomorrow night when we will have our fourth and final round of 16 match day review. Once again, don't forget if you're interested in the Pacific Northwest footy with the Sounders and with the Timbers and the Whitecaps. Michael Martinez does, of course, Cascadia FC and does cover the Sounders. Jeremy Peterman covers the Portland Timbers, and of course, they both a part of doing Vancouver Whitecaps as well. Michael, as always, I appreciate your time. I'm glad you joined me once again. Let's see if we can take a couple more here. So, let's see if we can do this one. Honestly speaking, Cabo Verde showed how weak physically Argentina is. Very true.
mm-hmm.
Very true.
Argentina is very beatable. Like
yes,
like they are showing cracks. Like yes, they're still good. Yes, Messi is still going to score goals, and they can kind of pull anything out of their ass to get the ball back in the net. But
exactly.
again, these teams are showing how you can at least battle with them
Mm-hmm.
and frustrate them.
Exactly. And one more from our friend over here. So if they can do a deep midfield set and be physical, they have a good shot. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Once again, for Michael Martinez, I'm Daniel Feuerstein. Thank you very much for watching us tonight. Join us tomorrow night for another round of 16 match day review show. And as always, we ask of you to enjoy your football. Have a good night. Take care. So long. And bye-bye for now. Good night, everybody.